be able to assist. So my name is Lisa Anflick. I'm one of the consultants at Expedia Cruises. Our annual World Explorer event is being hosted by the 6 Expedia Cruises locations in the Edmonton area, as well as our location in West Vancouver. We are coming up to 19 months of the date the travel shut down. If you are on this call, you love to travel and probably want to start exploring the world again. Travel fulfills us. That's why we do it. And if you're like me, you are missing it. The good news is that cruising has begun. Cruise ships started to sail this past June. We have now had 4 months of ocean cruising in Alaska, the Caribbean, and Europe. And in July, river cruises also started in Europe. Cruises are operating safely with the highest health protocols, and cruising is by far one of the safest way to travel. At the end of September, we had 50% of all the cruise ship fleets back sailing. At our locations, we have had the pleasure of having clients travel, coming back with raving reviews. They were thrilled to get back on board and had the wonderful experience that only a cruise can provide. I will say that things have changed and travel is a bit more complex at this time. Now more than ever, the advice of a professional travel consultant is needed. Next slide, Vicky. Our consultants are here to help you navigate the new complexities of travel and make sure your vacation is safe and seamless. I'm always amazed when people say they book their own vacations. I always think I could change the oil in my car, I could cut my own hair, but those are things I like to leave to the experts. What you will receive when you book with an Expedia Cruises travel advisor is the following. Expertise. There are hundreds of different cruise lines and cruise ships, and our travel advisors can help you choose the one that is right for you. Pricing. You will never pay less booking directly with the cruise line, and many times booking with a travel agent can get you a better price. You'll get extras. Booking with Expedia Cruises, we block group space on hundreds of sailings and can offer you better pricing and amenities such as shipboard credits that booking directly with the cruise line you will not receive. Information regarding passports, visas, entry requirements, and now more than ever, COVID test and vaccination protocols. We are here to assist in emergencies or if there are any problems. And isn't it wonderful to have the ability to have your entire vacation planned and monitored by one person? If you are ready to travel, we are ready to help. We believe the time is now. We know for some of you, the time is not right to travel at this moment, but the time is now to plan for 2022, 2023, and even into 2024. Studies have shown that approximately 40% of the pleasure of a trip comes from planning it. There's a great deal of pent-up demand, and we have all missed many seasons of vacations. Tours and cruises are filling up, and in some cases, space is limited. Last year's been challenging for all of us. And when I think back, one of the things that makes me smile is the thought of where do I want to go next? We have all heard the term bucket list. I think for 2021, that has now changed to be a to-do list. I can't wait to start traveling again. Time has passed, and like you, I have much to make up for. Whatever your dreams are, our Expedia travel advisors can help them come true. We are committed to finding you the best value for your travel dollars, and we are more than just cruises. Our name, Expedia Cruises, Air, Land, and Sea Vacation. We can help you plan all the components of your trip, and best of all, we're located in your neighborhood so you can shop local. So sit back and relax, and let's start exploring the world and dreaming of your next vacation. Our first presenter today is Vicky Lubick, Director of Sales, Western Canada, from Paul Gauguin Cruises, talking about one of my favorite destinations, Tahiti. Welcome, Vicky.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you all so very, very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit more about French Polynesia and, of course, Paul Gauguin Cruises. And absolutely thrilled to be saying that we are in the water. We've resumed sailing. So French Polynesia opened up earlier this year, opened up in June, but our first sailing is September 25th, is the first time that we've been back in the water. And we are getting, as you said, Lisa, rave reviews. So all the reviews coming in are just absolutely fabulous, which is just great to hear. So I want to tell you a little bit about French Polynesia as well as Paul Gauguin Cruises. The islands are, the official name is French Polynesia, but often you hear us refer to them as the islands of Tahiti. And it's a little bit confusing because Tahiti is actually the name of one of the islands, but it's a group of 118 islands. They take up an area in the ocean the size of Europe, but the land mass is only the size of Prince Edward Island, right? So very little land mass and lots of space. And you might not realize, if you know where Hawaii is north of the equator, Tahiti is south of the equator, the same distance. It's only a direct nonstop 8-hour flight out of Los Angeles. In our pricing, we always include that 8-hour flight. But do you know that Tahiti in a year receives the same amount of tourists as Hawaii does in just 7 days? So that's what it's really all about, is just this beautiful, unspoiled paradise. Now, why Paul Gauguin Cruises? Well, we are the industry leaders. We've been in French Polynesia for more than 20 years. Our ship was purposely built for French Polynesia, so it has a shallow draft, and the draft is more or less the amount of ship underneath the water. But that gives us the ability to get up close like this. And the secret to our success is the size of the vessel, because it's large enough to offer a luxury experience. It's almost 20,000 tons, but small enough to get close into the islands like this. So just over 300 guests on board maximum. I'm not going to bore you with health protocols, but I'm sure there are some people wondering about what's happening with the health protocols. Just know anything that the World Health Organization or CLIA, the Cruise Industry Association, has possibly thought up, we are exceeding that. And your travel advisor, that's one of the great things about working with Expedia advisors, is they know their stuff. And they'll be able to advise you on what the protocols are for any particular destination or cruise ship that you're planning on. So just refer to them when it's time to travel, and be ready. You're going to see protocols in the next little while will continue to change. One of those fluid is one of those words we've had to adjust to in the last little while. We do have a sail with confidence policy, and that allows our guests until 30 days before they travel to pay their final payment. So you can cancel at up to 31 days prior for any reason, and your deposit would go towards a future travel credit. So it gives you the confidence and the ability to decide quite late. We are seeing a lot of advanced booking, which is great, especially for 2022. Definitely seeing pent-up demand. Now, just a little bit about the vessel, 326 guests. You might hear, sometimes we say 332, but part of this is part of the protocols, but 1 to 1.5 to guest ratio. So that just talks to the high level of service we have. So if you've been on other luxury brands, it would be a typical sort of service that you would see, or a crew to guest ratio that you would see on board. Now, life on board, really it's thanks to our all-inclusive pricing that our guests arrive and everything is taken care of. So everything from all of your dining, all of your beverages, non-alcoholic beverages, as well as your alcoholic beverages. And we have top shelf liquors, a great selection of wines, and open bar throughout. Also, even the gratuities are included, so you don't have to you get this wonderful, amazing service, and you don't have to worry about coming up with gratuities at the end. Even 2 private retreats we have, and I will show you our motus that we have, where we have beach days as well. So this is a picture of the Gauguins. So Gauguins are a troupe of Polynesians that we have on board, and they make this an authentic Polynesian experience. They are multi-talented entertainers who greet you when you arrive. They're hostesses. They love to spend time with the guests, and they will do all kinds of crafts and sing and dance. It's a very natural thing. The Polynesian people are some of the most lovely, amiable people you can ever imagine meeting. And they're extremely proud of their history and their culture, and they love to, like I say, sing and dance and talk about their history and their culture. So as much as we want you to bring you to French Polynesia, we want you to really experience it in an authentic way and really feel like you understand the destination. We do have multiple dining venues that are included in the cost, so there's no alternative additional charge for alternative dining. And open dining, so you dine where you want, with who you want, when you want. And some of the smaller venues that we have, Alfresco Dining, so outdoor dining. This one at the bottom here is La Grill, and that one in Bora, we take it out under the stars by the pool, which is amazing. And the restaurant at the top is La Veranda, and it has a beautiful outdoor area, lots of big windows on the ship, so you can always see the islands. And here it is a French-inspired menu in the evenings, a degustation menu, which is like a tasting menu. And the menu is overseen by Jean-Pierre Vagato, who's a Michelin star chef. And our main dining room, we have open in the evenings, and just a wide array of choices of dining. You do want to take a picture of everything because it looks so amazing, and then it tastes wonderful as well. And lots of choices. We encourage you to have a soup, salad, an appetizer, an entree, cheese cart, dessert, and then again open bar. So lots of dining choices as well. If you want to dine in your stateroom, you can be served course by course in your stateroom, no additional charge. We have a barbecue on our motu that's included. We have high tea every day that we offer. We have an early risers breakfast as well, with a fantastic smoothie bar and pastries. And so lots and lots of dining experiences on board. And I know many of you have probably cruised before. And most cruise lines will tell you that their crew are great. I'm just telling our crew are absolutely exceptional. Anyone who has sailed with us will tell you that. They will remember your name, and they'll remember how you had your steak cooked the night before and that you had strawberries on your cereal. They just love to anticipate guests' needs and make it a very, very special experience for each and every guest. Now we have performances every evening. They are authentic Polynesian type of performances. We have a couple other, we have a cruise show that we do that's a lot of fun. And there's a Broadway night usually on board as well. But most of the time it's authentic Polynesian experiences or performances. So this was an example of the Gauguins with a heartfelt performance that they talk about the art of Paul Gauguin. And again, lots of singing and dancing. So it could be this or a cappella singers. We do bring on other performances in the islands. One example is in Huahine. We bring on the children and they sing and they dance too, and they're just absolutely adorable. So typical on every sailing, we'll bring on different types of performances as well. And we have incredible lectures. Every sailing has maybe a marine biologist or a whale and dolphin expert or anthropologist. So every single sailing, but then on many sailings, we bring on additional guest hosts. So that could be lots of wine and food themes. And this would be an example of a photography cruise that we have. So your travel advisors at Expedia can tell you far in advance who the guests might be on any particular sailing that you're interested in. I do want to focus a bit on our dry dock that we had in February of this year. Now, the amazing thing is we haven't been able to get to Tahiti to take pictures of the ship. So I don't have a whole heck of a lot of pictures of the dry dock, but next time I'm here, I'm sure I will. And if you reach out to your travel advisors in the next couple of weeks, I'll make sure that they have up-to-date new photos as well. But there was a few things we did. Most importantly was environmental upgrades. And Paul Gauguin Cruises is now owned by Penang. Penang is the only cruise company that sails under the French flag. And they have 13 ships. All of their ships are small capacity and they're on the cutting edge of technology and environmental preservation. So as you can imagine, preserving these pristine environments are so important. And we want to minimize the impact on the environments that we're sailing into, especially when we've been in French Polynesia for so long. So the first thing that we did was eliminate the use of heavy oil fuel. and also committed to offsetting 150% of our carbon emissions, which is very important. And then in terms of the soft goods, we call them, in the staterooms and in the suites, all of the public areas were upgraded. And the vision of this renovation was to enhance the elegance on board and keep it with a casually elegant, sort of fresh style on board. I mentioned before in the dining rooms, you can see the large windows. And here what we've done with the color palette is kind of take the colors from outdoors and bring them on board the ship. And so the ship just really feels like it belongs right in French Polynesia. One of the other things we've done here now is incorporated traditional artwork, and that's very important as well. We even have a museum, a virtual museum on board with 150 Paul Gauguin paintings, which are Paul Gauguin, of course, the French Impressionist painter, is our namesake. Most people are so super excited about complimentary Wi-Fi. You know, this is just something new that we've added. Keep in mind, when you're out in the middle of the South Pacific, you don't get the Wi-Fi. The bandwidth isn't quite as fast as it is sometimes in North America. And marina off the back of the ship, so all the water activities, the paddleboarding and the kayaking are included right from the marina. Typically the water, the ocean in French Polynesia is this calm seas like this, so it's very easy to paddleboard and kayak. And the ecosystem in French Polynesia is some of the most rich marine life you can ever imagine seeing, and we have lots of opportunities to see the underwater world as well as excursions up into the island. We have a PADI certified dive program on board. There is an additional fee for diving, but we have dive masters right on board the vessel. So you go out from the marina right out to do your scuba diving. I mentioned that we have 2 private retreats. Motu Mahana is in, Motu is a little islet in Polynesian. And this is where we have our beach day. The water here is 28 degrees year round. It's crystal clear, bathwater warm. We have this lavish barbecue, open bar, everyone's drinking out of coconuts. It's really a highlight for a lot of our guests, and all the activities from the ship here as well. And then in contrast, in Bora, we have a beach with just sand and trees and a bar. That's it. It's you may have heard, they say that Bora, or French Polynesia, actually has a painter's palette of blues. And you can certainly see this from the Motu here. When you look out over into Mount Otomanu, which is this iconic view, you can see the beautiful blues of the ocean. And you see that when you're flying over as well. Now, I don't have time tonight to talk about each of our itineraries, so I just want to highlight the various itineraries that we do. We have a 7-night itinerary that is kind of the quintessential French Polynesia. We overnight in Bora, we overnight in Bora, so very port intensive, and then we kind of build from there. From there, we'll sail into the Tuamotus on a 10-night itinerary, the Cook Islands on an 11-night itinerary. Cook Islands are popular with a lot of Canadians because they like the idea of the New Zealand Maori kind of combination with French Polynesia. Marquesas are so remote, they have their own ecosystem, so there's plants and animals that only live in the Marquesas. And our longest itinerary that we're doing for 2022 is this 13-night itinerary that it sold out within about a month. And you go across 4 very different archipelagos into Tonga, which, if you're a bucket list collector, Tonga is a very difficult destination to get to. It's the only group of islands in French Polynesia, or islands in the South Pacific, that wasn't colonized by the Europeans. So it has its own monarchy. I have a sneak peek for you at 2023. This isn't even available for sale yet. I don't even know the pricing on it yet, but just talk to your travel advisor. They will have this schedule. I'll make sure that they have it for you by tomorrow. But if you look at it, we're focusing very much on longer itineraries because that's what was popular in 2022. And we have the Fiji itinerary as well as a Fiji to Bali itinerary, which is going to be super, super cool. But just talk to your travel advisor and let them know that you're interested, and we'll make sure you get the advance notice on that. And I'll tell you why you want to be able to book early with us when I talk about our pricing. We have a Polynesian blessing ceremony on board if you're celebrating an anniversary or a honeymoon. And we do a children's program. We allow children year round, but we have kids programs July and August and in December. And lots of pre and post your travel advisors. That's a great reason to talk to the Expedia folks because they know French Polynesia and they can recommend for you hotels and pensions and pre and post stays as well. Really quickly, I want to tell you about dynamic pricing. What that means is we come out with the lowest price as soon as we come out with our pricing. Last year we had 30% off plus 10% off for Canadian residents. What that meant is our prices started at $3,700 US. That includes the air out of Los Angeles, as I mentioned, and usually or quite often includes overnight hotels, and it always includes the transfers as well if you take our air. If you don't need our air, we have an air credit that it's at least about $1,500. So I just wanted to throw out that pricing because I don't want you to think we're expensive. Just remember how all-inclusive we are. We're a year-round destination. So 28, 30 degrees year-round. We get a little bit more rain in November till about the end of February. So if you're worried about rain, maybe kind of skirt around those months. But we get less rain than Hawaii does in that time as well, just to give you an idea. So always lots of sunshine. It's rare that we get multiple days of rain. Usually what happens is beautiful, and then we get a little bit of rain, like a torrential rain for about a half hour, and then it clears off November till about the end of March. So I do want to say Meru means thank you. I appreciate so much working with Expedia. I've worked with you all for many, many years, and I can truly say that you are the experts. And please reach out to me. I look forward to seeing you on board Paul Gauguin Cruises really soon. Thanks again.
Thank you, Vicky. Oh my, I think everybody is just sitting here going, oh my God, I really want to go. And that's probably the first destination that I want to go to, because you are right. I mean, the water, even, I can't tell you, the water in the pictures doesn't even do it justice. It is just that much more beautiful. So thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for joining us this evening for this first presentation. We do have other presentations coming. Just want to remind you that travel is starting, and it really is the time to start thinking about where you want to go. And I really liked what Vicky said in terms of pricing, because booking early will get you the best choice of staterooms or suites, as well as the best pricing. And Vicky, I had people that booked quite early in the dynamic pricing and then wanted to bring friends later, and their friends were going to be paying much more. So it really is definitely a value.
Well, you know, Lisa, can I just say, I think I have a couple seconds here, but I just want to say, you know, I looked at our February 9th sailing. In January of this year, from January till September, the price increased $1,440 US. So there's a definite advantage to booking early.
Absolutely. And, you know, based on that too, the booking policies, the flexible booking policies that the cruise lines such as Paul Gauguin have put in. So you really don't have any risk in terms of your investment. So I want you to all remember, we've lost 2 years of vacations. There is high demand, and we're definitely seeing some shortages and definitely pricing going up. So thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate the time that you've given us tonight. We appreciate your past travels. We look forward to having you with us and allowing us to book future trips for you. Please reach out to your Expedia Cruises travel consultant. Vicky, if you can just put up the next slide. And if you have any questions, and we can help you start your next vacation. There is one question, Vicky, if you'd be kind enough to answer. Best month to travel to Bora Bora?
Well, like I say, it's always, you know, it's a year-round destination. I think it really in terms of rain. If you're worried about rain, if getting rain is going to spoil your vacation, then avoid even October till about the end of March. But the rest of the year, it's always beautiful temperature.
Okay, all right. And you know what? Even if there's a little bit of rain, it's a lot nicer than snow, which is what we have here through October to March.
Yeah, they call it liquid sunshine, right?
Liquid sunshine, exactly. All right. So if you do have some questions, you can reach out to your Expedia Cruises consultant. Please remember to follow us on Facebook. Also, each location has a YouTube channel where this and all the presentations that we've done, our regular Thursday night travel talks, will be recorded there. So thank you again, Vicky, for joining us.